Warning. The intro you are about to see is what I made with free software on my computer. It took me quite a while to complete. I acknowledge that it isn't the best quality, but please don't judge. This intro is something I wanted to do for you, the viewer, and something I want you to enjoy. All I ask is that you reserve all judgment. Thank you. Sci-Fi here, and today I'm playing The Legend of Zelda again. It was really fun yesterday, so I was like, gotta do it. Plus, there's that boss in the one dungeon that I couldn't beat, so I wanted to go ahead and play this and get that boss. Now, just a few reminders. I'm not using, my phone to look up maps or locations or anything like that. So it's purely based off memory. And because of that, I may or may not at times forget. In fact, a lot during this episode was just me wandering around trying to get back to that dungeon. Also, I cut a lot of the video out. Just to shorten the length. And so I chose to stick with one land look the entire time, which was the rocks. Maybe not the strongest choice, but my alternatives were the kind of grassy tree section at the beginning, where you start right after you die, and I didn't think that was the best option, so I went with this. Also, I still suck at Zelda. But I am working on it, and so yeah, that's just that. I didn't mean to keep that in there. Oh well. Yeah, there's some of that grass section. But I tried to stick mainly with these cave type things and the rocks. With a few exceptions, like if I died, you may be able to oh yeah, just a warning, I fast forwarded a lot right here. After that first death, it fast forwards every time after I die. So just a fair warning to you guys, it's a lot of fast forwarding. So anyway, it was just a lot of me trying to keep going and get to somewhere, because I kept going up this way because I could have sworn the dungeon I went to yesterday was up this way. Now, I'm probably going to do one more video on this, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the original Legend of Zelda. Although it's a fun game, I just think it's better. So I just think there are a lot of games out there that are Zelda themed, and it is Zelda mode, and I want to move on. So I just wanted to get an idea and a kind of taste of the original, and so I chose to do this. I may go a little further because, very slight spoiler alert, I found another dungeon in this video, and so I may extend it and try to beat that dungeon and the first one I found. The thing is, this game does take some time. Also, I had no idea that the bow and arrow. I got the arrow later on. I had no idea that the arrows take rupees. They take 1 rupee each to fire, and I didn't know that. Which really sucked. As you can see, I was pushing against the rock because I thought maybe there were secrets or something that were there. So that's another reason I fast-forwarded, is I'm like, I did try out some things that just didn't work out, and so it's like, oh, okay, well, then we can just continue. Yeah, so, this game is really interesting and really cool. There are Triforce, so I assume there are, well, I'm not gonna, I'm guessing there are 3 dungeons. I don't know. There could be 4, there could be 8, but I think there are 3, because I know there are 3 pieces of the Triforce. So, it's just kind of a logical conclusion. Also, I hate these little orange things that pop up out of the sand, because I can be over there trying to use my sword, and then all of a sudden they're like, nope, we're gonna mess up your plan. Also, because I didn't realize the arrows used up rupees, I went a little overboard with them at times. You can see, like, I wasn't even trying to hit anything there, I was just firing. Before realizing they take up rupees. But it's good to know. It is. A lot of times, just to keep going, I try to avoid monsters. But yeah, I may do some grinding off-screen to get some rupees and get some, kind of just get familiar with my surroundings. So, I know one of the dungeons is to the left and up, and then back to the left across the bridge, and some way from where you start. I know, I thought another one of them was to the, so I know one's to the west, one's to the east, I thought anyway. I explored this area several times and I didn't find it. Maybe you have to go down to the bottom of the pool there and go alongside it rather than the top. I came over here. So that was an old man's house, and he's like, oh, you wanna gamble? Or it's like, play a money-making game. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, you've got no money. Because, again, I didn't realize the arrows took rupees until I started trying to fire it, and it wouldn't fire. And I went into his house and realized I had 0 rupees. I did figure out several things, though. First of all, shout out to my friend Alex, because he told me that the sword can only fire, can only shoot long range, when you have full health, which was extremely helpful. I had no idea. Secondly, I figured out on my own that your shield will actually block certain projectiles. Now, it's not all of them, but as long as you are facing certain projectiles, when they hit you, you will deflect them. You won't take any damage for them. Which is really cool. Some of the edits are kind of more obvious. So I learned that, and I learned about the arrows taking up rupees. I wish there were some sort of magic arrows or something that didn't take up rupees to shoot, because that is really annoying to have to work around it. And to have to go without rupees. I mean, I get that they needed a way to balance it, but here's the thing. I paid 80 rupees for the arrows. Or I guess it's a magical arrow. But still, I paid 80 rupees for it. Which means I spent a whole bunch of money. Even if they had said like, oh, you get 20 arrows for 80 rupees, because there are multiple shops that sell them, that would have been reasonable. But they don't tell you that it takes up your rupees. Which is super annoying. It would be like if you went into an auto shop type place and you needed your steering wheel fixed or needed new brake pads, and they're like, oh, by the way, we went ahead and gave you an oil change anyway. Like, you needed an oil change, so we gave it to you. But they don't tell you that they put the charge on there. So you're like, oh, well, they just went ahead and gave me the oil change for free. That's really nice. Nope. They charged you for it and put it on your bill, and you didn't ask for an oil change. Still, I suppose any good game has its problems. Some of my favorite games, I can tell you at least 2 to 3 things wrong with them. I don't know if any of you have played Mirror's Edge, but I have, and I really like the game. But I hate, and I mean absolutely hate, I forget what they call it, but it's like the ship level where you actually go onto the ship. You don't control the ship or anything, but you go throughout the bottom of the ship and then end up going on top. And it's just really annoying because there are all these guys shooting at you, and it takes a lot to complete. Anyway, so yeah, so off camera I'm going to do some exploring, I'm going to do some killing to get some rupees. And I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going to beat at least one of the dungeons in the next video. I don't think I'm gonna do more than that. What I might do is explore around and find the dungeon and just start off the next video right outside the dungeon. And then next video, next video, go ahead and get through the dungeon and edit it together so it takes around 10 minutes or so to get through the dungeon. And then go to the other dungeon that I found here today and use that. Or go in there, I mean. And try to beat that. I may do 2 separate videos, one for one dungeon and one for another. I may not. But what I will do, I think, is rewatch these videos and get myself to them using my videos. Like, I'm not going to use a walkthrough or anything like that, but I will use my own videos. Because it is a large world that's there. Here I died because of those stupid blue things. I hate the red things, and the blue things are worse because they take 2 hits instead of 1. Okay, so yeah, so here's the thing I found. Oh, great. Shoot, I cut it before I got to this. Anyway, so yeah, this is the new dungeon I found. At first I was like, wait a minute, is that the one from before? No, it's not. And then I entered the dungeon and I'm like, no, it's not. But it is kind of a cool thing. Also, these slimes were a real pain to take care of. Because without my shooting sword, where I have full health, it's really awful. Actually, it's not awful. It's tedious, is what it is. It's just a thing of, oh, you have to, like, pace yourself and don't get too close, but at the same time try to get to them to kill them. It's a whole thing. What I do like is if you're in a dungeon already, it'll send you back to the main part of the dungeon, the entrance to the dungeon, and instead of the starting area that's there. So, this dungeon is really cool. I haven't explored a lot of it. It is tougher than the other one. That's one thing I noticed. Like, the other one had skeletons and bats, I think. This one has bats. It has these glob things. I call them Ooze 2.0s. Because they're two little oozes, but the two oozes make a bigger one. I call them Oozes 2.0. And they've also got knights, which are right here. Yeah, so these things you have to hit from the back. Like, you have to follow them around and watch their pattern and follow them in the back. I died, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I definitely will do at least one more video on this. Oh, did I fast forward? Oh, I did fast forward. Oh, yeah, because I didn't, because I ran out of time. But anyway, it is interesting just to see, like, see the big, expansive overworld and see all the different enemies and all that. But what I like is this first game is very simple. And by that I just mean, yeah, so here was me testing out the idea that they had to be hit from behind, which they do. So, like, this one is very simple. It's not a thing of, oh, there are a ton of enemies and enemy types to keep track of. Like, I think at this point I know how to get rid of most enemies. I still don't know how to get through those doors, by the way. If anyone knows in the comments and could tell me, that would be awesome. But anyway, I mean, it's just a thing where, like these guys, okay? They split into two slimes, two little oozes, so you have to watch out for that. The knights, you have to hit them from behind. The little orange things pop up randomly. They take about 3 hits to kill. The blue ones are worse. They take like 4 or 5, I think. The little spinny things land, and it took me back to the start here, and I was like, ugh, are you kidding me? After all that work I went through? Anyway, guys, I've talked long enough, so I am Ninja Sci-Fi. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Yeah, I had to double check to make sure it didn't load, that it actually saved. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends about this channel. Tell your parents, your grandparents. Tell anyone. You know, spread the word. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. This has been incredible fun. I'll do at least one more of this, and then I might or might not. I will definitely do some other Zelda games during Zelda month. So this is not going to be the only one. I might look into some fan games. I might not. It just depends. Anyway, guys, I'm Ninja Sci-Fi. Have a good day. Bye-bye.